So race 7 out of 24 today. Let's have a look at the starting grid for the first exchange for DD2 and DD2 Masters. Total of 27 drivers about to go into battle. Well, that will depend if the driver that was a little bit stuck trying to get out of the pre-grid managed to get onto the circuit. So on pole position will be Philip Moitzi and Peter Bezel on the front row. Multi-time world champion Davide Fori is partnered with Poland's Sebastian Janczewski on row 2. Jakob Bezel and Zenderua, birthday boy yesterday for the latter, row 3. Rasmus Vendelbo and Lucas Horsman, row 4. Defending champion Zander Schiblak on the inside of row 5 and is joined by 2019 DD2 Masters Euro Trophy and Grand Finals champion Austria's Roberto Pajewski on row 5, completing the top 10. Then it's Tim Mika-Metz, Martin van Leuven, Marcel Heisenberger and Oliver Breidenbach, row 4. Alessandro Fardin and Mark Bartels, row 8. Yannick Goossens and Luke Scheepers, row 9. Mick Knowlton and Maxime Derich, row 10. Paul Louveau and Christophe Capitain, row 11. Mati Kolmanic and Peter Giotai-Petty, that is row 12. Lawrence Seyfried, Jimmy Chaumier and Bruno dos Santos. That is the 27-strong lineup, comprising of DD2 and DD2 Masters drivers here this weekend. Again, 10 minutes on the clock plus an additional lap. So we'll see who ends up leading the way after the first heat. Each driver in both DD2 and DD2 Masters will also have to take part in 3 heats this weekend. And for DD2, there will be a second chance heat tomorrow, so the top 30 will automatically qualify for both finals tomorrow, but then the top 6 from any second chance heat tomorrow morning will then qualify for their respective finals. So expect that for senior Rotax and for DD2. It will be down to Philip Moitzi and Peter Bezel to control the pace. So Moitzi very, very happy when he when KRT Racing Team posted on Instagram yesterday on their stories. A big thank you to everyone interacting with us on Instagram and also on Facebook. A big thank you for those also joining us on the dedicated Camp Company GmbH live stream with timing provided by MW Race Consulting. So it looks like they're going to go on to... I'm just waiting here to see what happens because they're looking to be... right. So it has been... The red flag has actually been shown, I would imagine. So they have all come to a halt. Yeah, so just a brief paddock announcement in the meantime. The rapid antigen tests are available. We have posted this on both our Facebook and Instagram social media pages, that the rapid antigen tests are available today and tomorrow. There is a very, very slight window for you to do so. But it will be a case that the antigen test, which will be carried out by a doctor and will be provided with certification of a negative result, between 18:30 and 19:30 this evening and 8:30 a.m. until 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. Now, all tests are €25 per person, and you will receive your results within 15 minutes of the test being carried out. Thank you very much for your attention. So we are just waiting for what will happen next. Reference our 7th out of 24 races this weekend. Today, and then we've got a further 12 finals, and more than likely 2 or 3 second chance heats tomorrow. So what is now happening is that we will have more than likely another Another formation lap, I would imagine, before they get things going. So we'll have to see how the drivers manage to get on, as now they have been released. So the drivers now get themselves ready to go racing once again. So the timer has been reset back to 10 minutes plus an additional lap. And the drivers now looking to be a bit more compact than we saw earlier, which is a good sign. And that will mean that these drivers will get things going rather rapidly. And it's good to see that Philip Moitzi and Peter Bezel have decided to control things rather quickly indeed, as we wait with bated breath once again. Who's your money on here, ladies and gentlemen? All I'm going to say is all predictions are out of the window here in Italy, considering what we've already seen so far. We wait with bated breath. Who is going to get the jump? Will it be Philip Moitzi on Peter Bezel, or will it be the other way round? Well, your guess is as good as mine, because now things start building to the crescendo of the start. Into the tram lines we go. Are we ready? Are we steady? The lights are out, they're off and racing, and Moitzi gets a really good start, but it's 3 abreast going into turn 1 at multiple points, down, up and down the order, going through into turn 1 for the first time as they filter their way through. But Moitzi got a very good start. Davide Fori now up ahead of, looks like Paolo Besanconsene. Besanconsene has gotten up into a higher position. So Philip Moitzi leads. Davide Fori, that's Peter Bezel, that has ended up in. But at the moment, Petty from Hungary in the 585, DD2. My apologies. So this is the battle between 7th, 8th and 9th. So you've got Rasmus Vendelbo, Zonner Black, Lucas Horstmann there as well. You've also got Motorsport's Tim Mikametz running in the Kart Republic colours. So Moitzi's got a lead over Davide Fori. Peter Bezel and Jakob Bezel ran out the top 4. Sebastian Janchevski has dropped to from 4th to 5th. Zenderua stays in 6th ahead of the charging Zander Schriblak, who started 9th on the grid and is looking to close. But Schriblak's got to find half a second in the next couple of laps to close in on this gaggle of 6 karts. And there is a case of fact that there is Schriblak, because Zenderua going toe-to-toe, side by side. And that looked to be, that's with Janchevski. That's the top 4 starting to try and make a breakaway. It's not going to be easy. There's the 464 of Tim Mikametz. And you've got Oliver Beidenbach and Lucas Horstmann in the 2 Nies racing karts. Up at the sharp end, 11th and 12th. But Davide Fori gets passed by Peter Bezel, going on to lap number 3. 8 minutes and 8 seconds still to go. Roberto Pajewski still leads DD2 Masters, currently sitting in 13th, having started in 10th position at the moment. But oh, look at that train. It's the Philip Moitzi train. Forget Jarno Trulli, whose name has been very much associated with the word train when you get a gaggle of karts. And it could be that Philip Moitzi might not have the race pace of like Peter Bezel, but Peter Bezel is probably the cork in the bottle that's waiting to be popped and ready to go and lead the field away. But he's not going to have an easy time, because you've got Davide Fori, Jakob Bezel, Zenderua. Sebastian Janchevski has now dropped behind Sana Schriblak. So Schriblak, the current reigning and defending champion, putting in the 51.1s. Zenderua, the only driver to go sub 51, well, one of 2 drivers sub 51 seconds. Not just Zenderua in 5th, but also just seen that it is Janne Gersens, the youngster from Belgium, in the 490. As that's a good move there by Zenderua over the 2019 champion Jakob Bezel. So Zenderua up to P4. Now we'll start hunting down Davide, who is not that far ahead, I might add. And the top 5 drivers last time around were covered by just under 0.8 of a second. So Peter Bezel ahead of Philip Moitzi, but not allowed to get away into the distance. And look at that train. That was probably all the way down to maybe, say, 24th position, where you had the likes of Jimmy Chaumier and Bruno dos Santos running out the top 26. As now Zendarua looking for the move up the inside of Davide Fori. Up the inside he goes on the 438, and now Jakob Bezel tries to sense his opportunity, but here comes Zander Sriblak right up the inside of the Czech Republic driver, and then Jakob Bezel retaliates, and it's all kicking off here as you're getting a bit of side-by-side action here. Sebastian Chanchevsky, I think, was in there. Rasmus Vendelbo in the mix. The gloves are well and truly off. It's gone from a boxing match to an MMA encounter over 3 rounds of 5 minutes apiece. But we still have 5 minutes and 40 seconds still to go in this race, as the mechanics, just by where they actually come onto the circuit from the pre-grid, are giving their signals to the drivers, just sort of telling them what they need to do and how to carry that plan of action out. But Zander Sriblak now ahead of Rasmus Vendelbo from Denmark in the Dams racing kart. And there's the 424 of Alessandro Farda on the Tony Kart chassis, battling away with quite a few other drivers. Looks to be maybe that is Sebastian Janchevsky a little bit further ahead, but there are drivers looking to move forward. Yanni Gussens trying to stride forward as well. Up to 16th position is the Belgian. At 4 minutes and 52 seconds to go. Peter Bezel has started getting away. Zander Sriblak has gone and put in a 50.5 flat. Fastest lap of anybody. Peter Bezel also in the 50.5s. But now on your screens you can see the battle between Davide Fori and Jakob Bezel as Zendarua going in the 50.6s. So a good run from Zendarua thus far, and he is closing on the top 2. Zendarua has also represented Belgium, obviously originally from those parts, now runs under a Slovenian licence for the SSC Intrepid crew, as Davide Fori being pressurised not now just by Jakob Bezel, who tries to go side by side, and here's Sheepers Racing, Martin van Leuven again, just silently scything his way through the field. Martin van Leuven up to P4 from 12th on the grid. The Dutch driver basically made his mark in the championship last time out at Genk and won the second final for DD2 and kept his cool whilst others lost theirs. Zander Sriblak, who had a good conversation with back at Genk for the first round, he said, you know, I'm really enjoying it, and he's tussling with Jakob Bezel. He nearly went into the back end of Davide Fori, and here is Rasmus Vendelbo, I think, that has just got through on Jakob Bezel, and Bezel retaliates back up the inside of the Dane. Oh, it's all getting rather feisty here. And now, Paul Louveau, the points leader in DD2 Masters, is catching and closing in on Roberto Pajewski, the 2019 champion. Paul Louveau, a double race winner in the finals at Genk, and also our pole sitter last time out. I still remember when I had to call him to the timing tower, and he said, do you want me like this? And he was in normal clothing and so on. I said, well, if you want to put your race suit on, that's fine. And so he went and did that, and all of a sudden, Team France, full in proximity there, courtesy of Paul Louveau. But good to see him, as now Zander Sriblak trying to go up the inside of Davide Fori, makes the move stick. And there is a change for position, courtesy of Team Mika Metz from Do Motorsport on Rasmus Vendelbo, running under the Dames Racing awning this weekend. And there is a gaggle and a half, and part of it is Mick Knowlton. And you also got one of the Nice Racing karts in there as well. Looks more than likely possibly Oliver Breidenbach, or maybe even Lukas Horsman. But there's a lot of drivers up and down the order. Lawrence Seyfried, who started down in 25th, up to P20 for the German, running on the comp kart chassis, where they say believe in the fluoro, as Henry Baudet said to me when Comp Kart provided chassis for the grand finals back in 2019 at Sarno. 2 minutes to go on the clock, plus an additional lap. All kicking off up and down the field as Vendelbo looking up the inside. And there was Sebastian Jankowski looking to strike up the inside. Oh, there's a wheel touch. Wheels were rubbing, and they were smoking like a gun between Rasmus van der Boe and Tim Mikametz going into turn 6. And as a result of that, looks like Sebastian Jankowski has just said, thank you very much for opening the door, gents. Oh, too kind of you. But there is Davide Fori, who's now behind Zana Shriblack. Martin van Looyen rounds out the top 4 positions. So Peter Bezel leads by 3.5 tenths of a second ahead of Philip Moitzi. Sebastian Jankowski has put in the fastest lap of the race. And that is the battle between Jakob Bezel and Davide Fori. That's the battle over 6th position. Sebastian Jankowski ahead of Rasmus van der Boe. Tim Mikametz rounds out the top 10. Lucas Hosman, Yannick Gussens, Mark Bartels, Oliver Breitenbach, Marcel Heisenberger, Mick Knowlton. As there is Davide Fori getting a bit... he tried to go defensive on Jakob Bezel, but Bezel was having none of it, going into the right-hander at turn 6. Davide Fori, still steamed with a lot of experience, multiple world titles in his own right, a very, very well credible driver coach in his own respect, but now he's got Sebastian Jankowski just behind him. So Marcel Heisenberger rounds out the top 15 ahead of Mick Knowlton. Paul Louveau now leads in DD2 Masters by nearly half a second over Austria's Roberto Pajewski. Alessandro Fardin ahead of Lawrence Seidfried, who complete the top 20. Maxim Derich, Matic Kolmanic, Christophe Capitan, Bruno Dos Santos, Jimmy Chaumier, Luke Scheepers drops all the way down to 26th position ahead of the number 437 of... Luke Scheepers has dropped all the way down to stone dead last as there's a real battle broiling up here, and this is between Tim Mikametz, Rasmus van der Boe and Sebastian Jankowski, and that's the battle for P8. Timer strike 0. Peter Bezel next time will get the final lap board. And this has been ultra competitive all the way up and down the order. And you can see a little bit further behind, Yannick Gussens hanging on in head of Lucas Hosman, Mark Bartels, Oliver Breitenbach and Marcel Heisenberger. Luke Scheepers has pulled it into the pits. Final lap board is out. Peter Bezel has a lead of just over 0.3 tenths of a second ahead of Philip Moitzi, who comes to within 17 thousandths of a second off of the fastest lap of the race, set by the 483. Currently in 8th position, Sebastian Jankowski, who's 6.9 seconds off of the leader at the moment. But Peter Bezel started on the front row of the grid in 2nd position. Looks to have first in the bag, but will Philip Moitzi do a last-ditch attempt? I don't think he's got enough of an opportunity to do so. If he was closer, I would say that there would be more of a chance for Philip Moitzi to get past Peter Bezel. But round the final corner, completing 13 laps, the victory goes to the Czech Republic's Peter Bezel. Started from 2nd, finished 1st, ahead of pole sitter Philip Moitzi. Great run by Zen Derua to start from 6th and finish in 3rd place, ahead of the very resurgent Martin van Looyen. Started 4th, finished in 4th, started in 12th. Good to see Zana Shriblack come back from 9th to finish in 5th ahead of Jakob Bezel, who got the better judgment on Davide Fori, who was battling in the top 3 at one point. Sebastian Jankowski completes the top 8 ahead of Rasmus van der Boe. Tim Mikametz completes the top 10. Yannick Gussens in 11th, and Gussens started in 17th ahead of Lucas Hosman from Nice Racing, who finished in 12th position, and Horseman started 8th on the grid on the outside of row 4. Mark Bartels, Marcel Heisenberger and Oliver Breitenbach complete the top 15 ahead of the Netherlands' Mick Knowlton. Paul Louveau wins his first race of the weekend here in DD2 Masters, and that is ahead of Roberto Pajewski from Austria. Good to see Alessandro Fardin in there as well. 19th ahead of Germany's Lawrence Seidfried. Maxim Derich in 21st ahead of Matic Kolmanic. Christophe Capitan takes 3rd in DD2 Masters ahead of countryman Bruno Dos Santos, who started last on the grid. Jimmy Chaumier in the 482 took 25th position, and the last of the 26 classified finishers, and also 5th out of the 5 here in DD2 Masters, was Peter Gyurtai-Petty from Hungary, with unfortunately Luke Scheepers retiring on lap number 10.